welcome. And thank you for stopping by today. I hope we can bring some value to you. We're talking about liposuction, fat transfer, how to get rid of these hanging bellies. Larger individuals who got this hanging belly in front of them that restricts them, that you hide all the time, that you're tired of getting in the way, we can eliminate it for you completely and get that fold to go away. What's up, Yvonne Rivas? Thank you for stopping by here today.
Oh, and by the way, the skin retracts. So,
yeah,
you don't believe us, go ahead and jump on the Facebook support group, take a look at those photos that our previous clients have posted, and you can actually see, like, look at this one, right? So every other medical provider in the entire country would say, oh, no, you need a tummy tuck. Why? Because look, you got all this excess skin, right? Oh, but you know what? No tummy tuck. Why? Because the medical board does not allow us to do tummy tucks. We have not been certified in that.
So
we won't ever.
Notice how that fold, though, went away all the way, and it wrapped all the way around the side, and we only treated the front of the abdomen. However, the fold went away. And you guys have to realize that these folds are caused by physics. So your body has a volume of fat that's being pulled down with gravity, and when it's pulled down from gravity, it causes these type of folds depending on the density of your tissue. This happens to everybody. We're all subject to the gravity, and we're all subject to physics, and we have figured out a way to where if you can relieve that pressure and that pulling down, then it eliminates the fold.
And if some of you are looking at this patient and thinking, oh my gosh, did she get a boob job as well? Well, that right there is the magic. Once we eliminate the front of that abdomen and make it flatter and change the proportions, the other surrounding parts of the body look enhanced. And so, no, we did not intervene, or did we? I don't think so.
No, it's just the front.
Yeah. So she's got a really big bust on this picture, but because it's flat on here, it looks really, really big. And so she got a twofer. She got a flat stomach, and her boobs look bigger, so it looks like she got a boob job.
So we had Glam Time LV here. She says she's 1 day post-op, so we did her procedure yesterday. She's doing great. Good to hear.
Glam Time. Oh, is that? Oh, that is. That was Brenda. I think it is. Pretty sure it is.
Precio, por favor. Is that prices?
Price, por favor. Bueno, no podemos hacer ninguna cosa en cuanto a precio acá en este video porque no podemos ver su cuerpo, ¿no? Y no tenemos una precio fija por todas las personas. Tienen que ir a nuestra página de web para llenar algunos datos y ver los precios según su tipo, su categoría de cuerpo y las áreas donde quieren sacar la grasa, okay?
And any of you who are interested, as you're jumping on here, if you're interested in getting any pricing, it's really easy. You can, if you're on Facebook, we put the link in the post here, but if you just go to our website, myshapelipo.com, we have a link for the quick quote, and that allows you to get pricing based off of your BMI. And then once you like the pricing and you're serious about moving forward, then the next step is getting your formal consultation where you get to speak to us directly, and we get to review your situation with pictures and make a determination on what the right step for achieving your goals.
Yeah, so all of these pictures that you see are all sent in from the patients, or this particular patient was doing a follow-up and we just happened to catch her in the office, and so we took a picture with our camera, but we don't photo edit these at all. These are all just like as is, okay? And so some of them, like in that last picture that Granville had up, some of them is the abdomen, the inflammatory process is still continuing to go through, and she's still healing, and it's not the overall results, but you can see immediately. I think this is 6 months post-op. 6 months post-op, and look how flat that is.
Amazing.
I mean, it's unreal. So, we probably ought to do a better job of contacting our previous patients and having us send photos like a year out, so you can kind of see what the full transformation is. But right at 6 months is kind of where you're going to see the majority of where your body's going to be.
Yeah. And if you haven't joined our private Facebook group yet, we have a private group on Facebook where you're able to see these pictures and then communicate directly with the individuals, because these are real people that are posting these pictures live on Facebook, so you can see them, but then you can also communicate directly with them. So you'll find somebody on our group, some previous patient who was similar to you, whether that's height, weight, looseness of skin, presence of stretch marks, shape of their belly, whatever the case. You're going to find somebody that's similar to you, and you'll be able to communicate with them and also get a better idea of what is possible for you, because many people just don't know. Excuse me. They don't know what's possible for what they have. In fact, they think that their situation is hopeless, and that's what we're here to tell you, is that it's not hopeless, and there's a lot that we can do with you.
So is that Angelique Farfan? So her question is, can this be done after a gastric sleeve? Yes, but typically we like to wait about a year, okay? And she also had a tummy tuck and she wasn't happy with the results. Well, guess what? We treat a lot of patients that have gone and had tummy tucks elsewhere because the results are just, marginal. Like what they do with the tummy tuck is they cut, they make a big incision, they do a little bit of liposuction, and then they pull it nice and flat, or they pull it together and it gives the appearance that it's just a flatter stomach. Like they do very minimal liposuction with the tummy tuck. So yeah, absolutely. We do those all the time.
And consequently, since they don't do enough liposuction, they tend to leave the person with more of like a boxy shape, because if you don't take enough stuff down in the sides, you don't create that hourglass figure. So if you don't do the appropriate liposuction, then you're not going to get the proper shapes. So if you get these tummy tucks, which we see quite often, and you're not happy with the shape, or perhaps you have dog ears on the side, this versus irregularity where the skin pooches out because they didn't bring the skin back together properly. These are all things that can be solved through liposuction, and we do a lot of them, and it's quite common. So don't feel like you got the short end of the stick. It's just the way it is with the tummy tuck. They just simply don't do enough liposuction.
Right. So obviously we do this because we really, really enjoy it. We feel like it gives good karma to the universe. We feel like we get to intervene on people's behalfs, both on a mental side and a physical side, and it completely changes lives, and it's very, very rewarding for both of us. I'm in there with a patient in the post-op room today, and Trevor comes running in and busts open the door and says, "Dude, I gotta talk to you right now," right? And I can see this excitement on his face. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be interesting. What is it?"
Yeah.
So we walk out in the hall, and he goes, "Dude, I just got off the phone with this girl," and I'll go ahead and let you talk about it.
The interesting thing is, so she was concerned. She had concerns. So I called her, and I thought it was be a concern conversation, and it was at first. And I answered her questions and alleviated her concerns. And then she said, "Hey, I got to tell you, despite whatever concerns I have, the results are unbelievable, and it's not just the looks. I couldn't believe this. It's been 4 months now, and she takes blood pressure medication, and her doctors lowered her blood pressure medication for her, and she's taking 1/4 of the medication per day, and she said her blood pressure is actually better controlled now than it was prior to the procedure. In addition, that's not even the good part. It's the great part, right? The amazing part, the phenomenal part, was she has PCOS, which I know many of you have questioned during these lives. So she had PCOS, and she said that her period was irregular in that she only got like 1 or 2 a year. And she said that ever since the procedure, she's been getting a regular period on time every month since the procedure, which I don't even know. I mean, we talk about the hormones and the effects of liposuction, and honestly, I don't understand how these things happen, but I can tell you I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen some amazing, incredible things, and this is one of them that blows me away.
So there's some obvious correlations with all of that. We're not here to say that, oh my gosh, it's going to solve all your problems, but it will help you become a healthier person. And a lot of these chronic disease states that you have, i.e. hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol problems, these things are going to improve when you improve your health and get rid of that excess, luggage that you're carrying around, so your body doesn't have to work as hard, to pump out blood to all parts of it. It's going to help, okay? And I'm not going to get into the specifics of how her particular case may have improved by doing it, but it was pretty cool. Like, she's seeing the fruits of her labor. She came in, she got the procedure done. We removed a lot of fat. She's also implemented a very healthy lifestyle and did some modifications. And so, yeah, she's able to get into a healthier state. That's what's cool.
Yeah. So Angelique says, what kind of anesthesia do you use since patients are awake? So the technique is called the tumescent technique, and it's a local anesthesia. So we inject a large volume of fluid, and the fluid consists of lidocaine, which is numbing agent, saline, which is salt water, and epinephrine, which constricts the blood vessels. And so when you inject it into the fat layer, it numbs only the local area, and then we're able to take the fat out while you're awake. It's similar to, imagine like you're at the dentist and they numb up only the tooth and they are able to do their work there, so it's numb in that area and it doesn't affect the entire body, and that's the key to this local anesthesia.
So this particular comment is saying, why is one of our previous patients saying that we destroyed her body with liposuction? I'm not sure. You know,
Tati just called me last week and wanted to come back for another procedure. So I know she's a public figure and she says a lot of things, and you guys have to kind of weed out what's real and what's not real. She's was planning on bringing her husband out to get his chin cheated, and she wants to get more liposuction on her body. So I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah. Bottom line is, like, listen, we are completely transparent, 100% transparent. So if you have questions, jump on the group and contact some of our previous patients and see what their experience is. I mean, that is like insight that nobody else offers. Okay. And so they'll tell you right up. Okay. Like Trevor said, is there a little bit with this like whole public persona? I mean, I hear ramblings that she's doing some weird stuff like getting lipo, but yet continuing to eat very unhealthy. I don't know. I don't know how much of it's show. I don't know.
There's a question here. Vivian Garcia, gracias por mi novio. Yo feliz con mis resultados.
All right, Viviana. So she said, thank you for my new me.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's super happy. So Viviana, gracias por venir a nosotros y confiar en nosotros, porque eso es lo que nosotros nos amamos hacer, ¿no? Eso es algo increíble cuando recibimos fotos de los clientes anterior y con palabras que nos dicen que, bueno, gracias por todo.
What's up, Terry Segovia? It's a recent patient. Hope you're doing well.
Terry, is it hot in Florence? I know it is. You don't even have to say that because it's warm here. Yeah. So I know it's hot in Florence.
I can't wait to see what Terry looks like.
Oh, she's gonna look amazing.
Okay, how long after having a baby can I get a BBL? The generic recommendations are 6 months to a year, but it depends on the individual. And if you breastfed, it's going to be longer. And a big issue with this is there's some, as we said before, there's like hormones that circulate around the body, and when you get pregnant, the hormones get all crazy. So it does cause issues with the body, and it does affect the liposuction outcome. So if you try and do it too quickly, from my experience, and this is my personal experience with patients that we've tried to do it sooner than the recommendations, and it didn't necessarily work out well. The fat somehow is more difficult to get out on these individuals. So that's a big part of the recommendations is to wait for that 6 months to a year.
So Terry says it's Country Thunder weekend. I don't know if anybody has ever traveled to Arizona for a thing called Country Thunder. It used to be out in Queen Creek, and I think now it's out in Florence. I went to it a couple of times. It is quite a festival. A bunch of country music artists get together. Everybody camps. Everybody kind of just like has a big long weekend of just having a good time. So Alondra Franco dice, quiero hacerme la Lipo 360. ¿Puedo hacer mi transferencia de grasa y glúteos y pecho en el mismo día o no? So she wants to do it. She wants to get a fat transfer. Can she do it? Can she get a fat transfer to the boobs and the butt the same day? Bueno, la respuesta a eso es no. No hacemos esto. Bueno, Trevor trató hace años, pero no salió bien. Entonces, para explicar por qué, es que su cuerpo solo puede aguantar una cantidad de trabajo en una sola vez. Entonces, eso es demasiado trabajo. ¿Ok? Entonces, no hacemos esto donde nosotros practicamos. ¿Ok?
So she wanted to get fat transfer to both butt and the breast at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the big reason that I see is because you won't be able to sleep.
Right.
You're not supposed to put pressure on the fat transfer area. So if you get fat transfer to the front of your body and to the back of your body, then how do you sleep?
Right.
It's a challenge. I think it's honestly, I think it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible, but you got to use like pillows, and it'd be a really, no pun intended, but pun intended, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Listen, this is a process, and you can't rush into it and say, oh yeah, I want liposuction from my head all the way down to my toes in one
Right.
setting. No, it just doesn't work that way because it's not.
It's not
We want this to be safe for you. We want this to be a healthy procedure for you. We want you to, have great results.
Yeah.
So,
What's up, Rebecca? Hey, cool story today. We had a patient, 55 years old, and man, she now has an amazing hourglass figure. And I couldn't believe, she looks like she was like in her 30s.
yeah, she did.
Blew me away.
She looked great. I had to keep looking at her birthday to keep confirming.
She was born in 71, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Okay, Jocelyn Schneider. Hola, feliz con mi resultados apenas tengo una semana. Tengo una semana.
Yeah, so Jocelyn era un cliente anterior y hace una semana y bueno, ella era muy bien y todo salió bien con ella. Ojalá los resultados salen recontra bien para ella. She's saying that she has great results.
Yeah.
We had a great time with her. She was awesome.
Hadley Mendez says you're a bariatric patient and you have 10 months, so you heard that you should wait a year. Why? Your initial weight was 297. Right now you're at 210. Congratulations. That's awesome. We actually just had this conversation yesterday, right?
We did. Yeah. So depending on what type of gastric intervention you had, your body is going to take a while to hit a homeostatic state. Basically, any of those gastric sleeves or bypasses or whatever, what they're doing is they're limiting the amount of nutrients that you can absorb, get in to the system, and basically you're starving your body. You're not allowing excess to get in there and maintain that body habitus that you got. So we want everything to kind of like hit a steady state. Plus, it's going to give time for your skin to kind of, stabilize, because you're going to lose weight very, very quickly. And part of getting these amazing results is counting on the skin to do its part. And if you do it too soon, you're just going to have too much excess skin. But more importantly, your body is not going to be able to heal because you're not going to be able to get the nutrients in. You're not going to be able to get the hydration in, just because of what they did, which was so invasive in the GI tract. So yeah, a year.
Yeah. Christina asked, do you do labiaplasty? We do not. We do liposuction. So if you want fat taken out of the labia, that's what we can do. Or you want fat put back in. No, we normally don't do that. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Rochelle says, I want my arms done. How long is the healing process? The healing process on one area is the same as the healing process on the other area. Your body does the same thing. Initially, it's going to swell up. You're going to get bruise and soreness. And how long? Typically, it's our patients say that within 3 to 5 days, they're able to go back to a sedentary type job. With the arms in particular, if you're working with your arms and your hands, like a hair person or makeup person, you're moving your hands around, it might be a little bit more challenging for you. You're going to be sore in the movement, and that's the thing. So if you're using your arms a lot, that's where you're going to be sore.
Mm-hmm. This girl says, love the hair, Trevor. Thanks for the job you're doing, almost a year, and loving my results.
That's awesome.
I'm not sure if I know who that one is. NJOKSS. All right.
Christina's laughing. Oh, she has the labiaplasty. Yeah, no, I've had a person who wanted fat transfer to the labia.
Yeah,
I just never did that.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about doing that, because there are a lot of nerve endings down there. And if medicine is always a game of risk, right? When you intervene on somebody's behalf, you're assuming responsibility that everything is going to go right. And sometimes it just doesn't go right. We have, if you talk to any surgeon in the world, there is a chance for infection. It's just one of those risks. And sometimes, when people expect everything to go right, but that one time it goes wrong, they get really, really mad at you. And so like with the labioplasty, I might think twice about that.
Well, especially since we don't do that regularly, you know, I mean, like trying something new like that, that's, I mean, definitely is possible. But, you know, I think what she said, the labioplasty is like they're cutting and putting together. So I actually knew some guy that used to do that in Arizona, but interesting stuff,
Sure.
you know. But people need it, right?
Yeah. Look at these. These results I think are only a couple of months out.
Yeah, this
Look how flat that stomach is.
Blows me away.
Yeah. And this one, man, this patient, she's got a weird like name on the Facebook group. But if you can identify her and you can reach out to her, she will absolutely tell you how amazing her process was. I mean, she was one of those patients that never even put a frown on her face the entire procedure. The entire time. She was just like super like smiley and happy. We had a great conversation, worked on her, and it was awesome. It was great. She actually did the front of her abdomen, and then she came back and did the love handles, hips, and lower back.
Yeah.
So she's doing great.
I haven't seen the pictures of that. Have you?
I haven't. I'm gonna have to reach out to her and tell her to send us some. Mm-hmm.
So I think that the coolest thing about this is that the belly, you can see how far it was hanging down and how well the skin retracts back. And I show these pictures, really, I think that the key is that even if you're not this size, it's to realize what is possible, because if it's possible for someone this size, then what's possible for you? That's the thing that you need to start thinking about. You know, these individuals that we show have big problems. And if we're able to solve their problem, then what do you think we can do with your little issue, with your little pooch, you know, your little fold over?
Sure.
That stuff's like magic.
And these pictures are predominantly for transparency, right? Had a patient today. She had come back. She was like, what, on her 4th procedure?
Mm-hmm.
The one, and she had gone originally to another provider on the East Coast somewhere. She goes, yeah, I thought I was doing the right thing. You know, I looked her up. Her Google reviews were, you know, out through the roof. You know, she has this pedigree where she went to a couple Ivy League schools. She got her medical education at this other prestigious school, blah 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 blah. And it was supposed to be like a sure thing. And she said that she didn't like even see hardly any changes at all when she got done with the procedure, and she was really upset. So she happened to come across like our internet, you know, our social media presence, and then she came out and she's had 3 procedures with us. Is it 3 or 2? I think this was her 2nd one,
yeah.
Maybe her 3rd. Anyway, so this is for transparency, because I asked her, I said, well, did you see that clinician's before and after pictures? And she goes, well, there wasn't very many of them, and I didn't pick up on it. So here you guys go, full transparency. You want to see what we can do? Just picture yourself. If your body looks like this, I guarantee you this can be you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you we can give you these results. Okay? And there's a lot of patients that are part of that, and reach out to them.
Well, no guarantees.
Okay.
No guarantees. But this is consistent stuff. We should try to show a lot of these things so you can see the consistency of what's capable. And clearly, you know, with any medical thing, we can't offer guarantees because nothing's guaranteed. There's so much complexity and diversity out there. So, but we are able to do these things very, very consistently for individuals. So, you know, use these as examples of what's possible. Riona's patient from yesterday says, great job, thanks for working on me. Appreciate that, great experience.
Oh, that's awesome. She was awesome. She really was. She did great. Old Rachel says, is there a max amount of fat that can be removed? In one setting, I guess, is what she's probably referring to. So the answer to that is really, really quick. We can take out as much fat as your body allows us to take out. What is safe for your body, okay?
So there is a max, and if we push beyond the max, it elevates risks, and people have potentially more issues. So, you know, when we talk about large volume liposuction, you just need to be conscious and aware that there's elevated risks when you go for that process. Now, the benefits are also elevated, and they're amazing, and they're likely worth the additional risk. But this is something that you're going into with eyes wide open.
But that's why we don't do full body liposuction in one session.
Right.
because yeah, he's right. There is a max. We can take out what is safe for you in one setting.
But I mean, take a look at these pictures. This is just unbelievable. 7 weeks out, and this was the treatment of the front of the abdomen, and you see that entire belly is gone. That fold over that was covering, you couldn't even see her bikini in the before picture in the bottom, and then afterwards there's not even a fold. The belly's not even hanging over. So
How come we haven't got follow-up pics from her? I mean, she's almost like probably 9 months out,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think it was June of last year.
And people, like, what I've noticed over the years is when they're happy, they just go about their life. So it's amazing, and I'm so grateful that people follow up in our group and continue to share their stories, because for us, it's really rewarding to see that the benefits that our work brings to the world. And so I really enjoy that. And, but typically when people are happy, they just go about their lives.
So Sunflower Goddess says, finally, some better pics. I can actually see. All right, yeah, listen, bottom line is jump onto the group and you can see all of the pics, okay? Yeah, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we'll do it. Same person, different timing.
Yeah.
And this is a unique, I don't know if it's about unique, but it was creative that she preemptively took her own before pictures in a couple of different bikinis, and then the after pictures you can see she took in the same bikini to just prove that it's the same person, real person, same clothes.
Right. So Nancy RR says, will we ever go back to in-person consultations? Listen, the setup that we've got going on works very well for us. I know that there's a percentage of the population that wants to come in and get a feel and like do an in-person consultation. If you're local and it's feasible and we can get a schedule, then yeah, we'll entertain doing that. But just try the system. Try and jump on, the website. We're really pretty accurate. Like very few times have patients come in after getting, a consultation over the phone and us looking at their pictures and we're surprised. So, I mean, if it's just because you want to get to know us, that's why we do these lives. If you want to feel comfortable with who's doing it, that's why we do this. That's why we give you access to ourselves and take our family time and we broadcast and we talk about these topics. So yeah,
go through the process first, and if you don't, if we agree, you and I, or if we agree that we need to see something differently because it's not substantial in a two-dimensional photo, if that's what we agree to, then yeah, we're in the office, we can figure something out. It's not standard protocol, because it's really nice for us to have the freedom to be anywhere in the world and still do these consultations for you.
So Sunflower Goddess says, oh, she needs us in her life, referring to some of the pictures. Yeah, listen, bottom line is everybody needs us in their life, right? Everybody needs to get healthy. Everybody needs to improve what they've got going on. I mean, the single most valuable thing that you will ever possess is your own body. And so if you invest in it, man, it can take you to places that you never thought you would go.
Yeah.
Okay?
By far, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself.
Mm-hmm. How do you join the group? So you jump on Facebook and you type in My Shape Lipo Support, and it should come up, and you ask to join. It's for females, okay? Because we understand there are some sensitive pics, so we don't allow males to jump on there aside from the administrators. And once you get in, you're gonna have to answer some questions. Say, yeah, I want to be positive. I'm not gonna be negative. Because it's a support group. It's not a discussion thread. Okay.
Well, you can discuss, but it's not about like talking down. It's not about judging anybody. It's about supporting and making them feel better and making them, whatever the situation is, you want to support the individual. So that's important. And we're not on here saying, hey, this person got good results, this person got bad results. It's there to support the individuals who had the procedures. And those of you who are looking to get the procedures, it's almost as if you have a friend or family member who had the procedure for My Shape Lipo. So I think it's a great opportunity, and it's been working really well for us.
So Sunflower, are you telling me these are great photos? It's got great background. You can actually see a shape difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and our photos are the actual page. You can see this is her bathroom, or I don't know what those curtains are, but Yeah, I mean, the quality is lacking for sure, but it's because it's not our pictures. Actually, in this one, the before picture is ours against the white screen. This is typically how we do our stuff. But the after photos, when we get from the individual, is going to be in whatever background they take, which is in most cases not optimal.
So Irina Palacios 87 says, pero se ven muchos huecos. Creo que no se usaron los cañuelos correctos. Bueno, Irina, sí. Sabemos cómo usar nuestros cañuelos. ¿Sabes por qué? Porque tenemos muchos resultados. Y todas esas fotos son las personas en diferentes partes de sanarse, en la recuperación. Entonces, no se puede venir a un lugar, no me importa quién es, y recibir tratamiento de un cirujano y la siguiente día todo va a ser perfecto. Eso es loca, ¿no? Y tal como te dije, eso es un proceso de todos los clientes. Mientras que ellos están sanándose, ellos nos envían las fotos. So she's saying, yeah, she could see a lot of holes. Maybe they must be using the cannulas incorrectly.
The holes?
Yeah. So she's saying, like in the results, you can see some holes, and so they must not know how to use the cannulas. Basically, what she's saying.
I mean, the holes are entry points. The Addison, there's no. I mean, you see them.
I'm not quite sure what all she's referring to, but like, bottom line is.
Sunflower Goddess said, "I love this pic. It looks like a lot of them are just lipo. Sunflower, all we do is liposuction. There's no tummy tucks. None of our patients get tummy tucks. However, clearly, as you saw the last person previously who asked, who have gotten a tummy tuck and want liposuction, those are the only people that we deal with that have had tummy tucks, but they're not getting them from our clinic. It's only liposuction." But you're right, it's amazing that it's only liposuction, considering what we're doing here and how much of a change we're making.
Oh, so Mayra Morales says, dile que es culpa tuya, es culpa de ella por no cuidarse y a seguir fajándose hasta por un año. No es culpa de los doctores. So she defended us and said, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
You got to take care of yourself when you're healing. So
are we still talking about Tati?
No, we're talking about that lady. Okay.
Big changes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's at some point you just get so sick of the situation that you're in. This belly is hanging in front of you. It's restricting you from tying your shoes. You're out of breath every time you go up and down stairs. When you pick clothes, you're wearing clothes that are covering up everything big and drapey, or nothing fits you right, so you have to get spandex. And at some point you decide you're sick and tired of living like this, and you want to change. And that's the point when you need to make a decision. And when you make this decision in your life that enough is enough and it's time to change, it becomes from a should, like I should change, to I must change. And when you transition from that point to it's a must, that's when your life really will start to change, because you'll stop making the bullshit excuses that we all make. When you decide that you must change because there's no other alternative, that's when serious change can happen in your life. And we help individuals like that. We can push you into these situations where you get these amazing results, and it kind of kicks you down the road and gets you, far along in the process to where it's exciting for you because you can change.
Thank you, Myra. Oh, maybe she is talking about that.
Yeah. Let's just. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about negative stuff, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and by the way, just want to send a shout out to the girls in our office. Okay, so they're on here now, and they are more than willing to go ahead and ask you, or answer any questions that you guys have. Susie, Kat, Ciara, and they do a great job, and they're going to be with you back in the procedure rooms, helping with the procedure, and they're just like, they enjoy this. They don't get a whole lot of the recognition like we do because we're moving the cannulas, but listen, they are a very critical part of your process and having a good experience. And so, listen, reach out to them. They love the interactions. They love hearing how amazing you made them feel. So please do that.
Hey, are there any of you women out there that have a husband that wants his belly gone? or that you want his belly gone. I mean, this is for a man, this is life changing, man. I'll tell you. I mean, obviously with women, you guys know the changes for you, but you know, as a man, it's this is you go from that dad bod to a badass, you know, and you have the ability to do some of the things that you would do when you're younger. This is only 3 weeks out on this gentleman, and the funny thing was is this gentleman in particular was looking to hide his liposuction from everybody. Didn't want anybody to know. And the next day, was it the next day or 2 days, we were out here live, and he jumps on the live because he was so happy with everything he had to share. He had to talk. And the cool thing was, we didn't touch the chest. We didn't treat the chest at all. And that fold, it just went away from taking away the belly. That's what's incredible.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. So listen, again, like Trevor said, thank you for, you know, defending what we do. I mean, I don't know where whoever's headspace is on the other social media stuff. I mean, I watched, you know, some of the comments come up when we did her live, and it was, you know, man, there's some negative stuff. So let's avoid the negativity. Let's talk about cool stuff. Let's talk about like how amazing, you know, this girl's life is transformed because she no longer carries around all of this extra luggage up here, and she gets to go to the store and buy new clothes and buy new dresses, and her confidence has changed. And congratulations, bro, you got to be a part of that.
I like to hear the stories about how it affects people's lives, and more so than just cosmetic. You know, when people say the results look awesome, like that makes me feel good. That's great. But when they start telling me about how it's allowed them to change their life and change their actions and eat better and get more active and get more healthy, that's the stuff to me. I feel like I made an impact for the rest of their life, not just this short-term cosmetic thing. And to me, that's rewarding. That's what I do this for.
What we got here? Oh, so Sunflower mentioned some sort of this picture. We missed it.
No, but it's cool. But you see these pictures with these larger individuals. I mean, you just got to try to imagine. And if some of you may be similar to this person, but you can imagine the insecurities that an individual would have. You know, none of them like having that belly hanging in their pants. So they pull things as tight as they can to create that illusion that it's flatter. But it's, you know, in reality that you're not able to cover up. So there's always that level of embarrassment, and I think these larger individuals, they tend to hide their stuff, and they tend to be less active in society or social gatherings because they're embarrassed of such. And you know, this procedure is just something that it helps you with your confidence. If you look better and you feel like you look better, then it allows you to take those actions and do the things that you weren't able to do before. Okay, in a few hours you get a really big change. This is equal to years of going to the gym. You know, I would say it's impossible to get these by working out.
It is.
It's impossible because it doesn't matter how much you work out. You're not going to be able to get these shapes that we're able to give these individuals by removing the fat. And it's simple physics. The fat itself is space occupying. So when you lose weight, you just shrink. You're the same shape, just smaller. And many of you know this, but you lost 50, 60, 100 pounds. It's a similar shape, you're just smaller in size. So the liposuction, we can actually carve out the shapes and create those hourglass figures.
So it's just like he said, you know, there are some of your figure that you will not be able to get, you know, some areas that you will not be able to get rid of that fat. And we can absolutely carve out that waistline and really like change the way you look. Case in point, we've had 2 recent clients that have contacted me and said, hey, you know, the funniest thing just happened. I was walking down the road, walking my dog, and some lady stopped, pulled over and said, hey, are you a personal trainer? And, you know, she goes, I chuckled inside because I'm not, but you gave me a body that looks amazing, right? Or you guys gave us a body that looks amazing, and holy smokes, people are taking notice. And then the other girl, she had been like working out a ton, and she says, yeah, I just can't ever get rid of this. It sits here in the front. So when she called the other day, she's like, oh my gosh, my front looks amazing, but my sides, I had no idea I had sides like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just because, those areas are tough to treat, and we can get it out.
You know, when you have that fat there, it's almost like there's a blanket covering what's underneath, because all we're doing is literally just taking away to uncover what's already there for you. And just like Audra here, she already had that figure underneath. All we were doing is uncovering it, and this is who she should be. You know, it was the bad habits, the eating of, you know, too many calories and not exercising enough, or whatever the case is, the lifestyle that allowed her body to get full like that. And that's not really her. That was the food. That was the bad stuff. So we took all that stuff away, and what are we left with? We're left with this amazing hourglass figure, and you have it too. Promise you.
Yeah.
Everybody has it.
Let's improve your canvas. So Oshida asks, do we provide financing? So there's one company that we can refer you to that helps with financing. We have a layaway-like plan where you can pay it off, and then once you're all paid off, then you can come in and get your procedure. But we don't do any in-house financing, no.
Cynthia Martinez asked how many sections lipo. So Cynthia, you may be referring to our old pricing model, and where we used areas. And we're not doing that at this point. To get your pricing, it's actually way easier. We have a quick quote system, and since you're on Facebook, you go up in the post here and click on the link. You can go through the quick quote and get the pricing. Like while we're speaking right now, you can go get the pricing, and you don't. It's not required with pictures or anything of that matter. It's based off of your BMI. So you go check that out right now, and then when you're serious and you're ready to move forward, the next step is then your paid consultation.
Oh, so this is a cool picture, right? So thank you. Before lipo, all right. She looks like a mom, right? She looks like everyday mom right here. This one after lipo, oh my gosh, she looks like she's in her young 20s, and she's gonna go out with her boyfriend or husband, and they are gonna really celebrate something important. She looks good.
Walking the runway.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is like classic hourglass figure though, right? I mean, perfect proportions.
Yep, exactly.
What was it for that song? The measurements you said?
36, 24, 36?
Yeah, something like that, right?
I don't know. Okay, here's Blanquita.
Look at this, like the cover up. This is what I'm talking about. In the before pictures where you're like, they're covering up. It's that drapey that is just a big sheet that you put over your body to cover up. And versus afterwards, like these girls, they want to wear stuff that's form-fitting because they are happy and they like their body. And it's a total difference. When you're unhappy with your body, you treat yourself a certain way. And then when you're happy with your body, you treat yourself a different way. It happens. It's automatic. You know, it happens with everyone. And you just have to accept the new you and love the new you and start doing the things that are necessary to maintain the new body.
So Nurse Gladys from the 213 asks, do you have to have a certain weight to get lipo? I mean, if you're paying attention to the pictures, you would understand that no, you don't. I mean, these are some really, really big body habituses that I guarantee have gone elsewhere, and they've been turned down because, oh, no, you're too big. You don't have the right BMI. Oh, no. And all that means is, you know, they don't know how to do it in a way that's effective, that can give you some amazing results, or, you know, they're lazy because, listen, liposuction is hard. It's a lot of work, okay? And when you walk in looking like this, let's see here.
He's gonna make it bigger.
Oh, there we go. When you come in walking like this with all of these insecurities, right? I mean, this girl, she was a bigger girl. I mean, she was probably pushing the 300-pound mark. And look at how quickly it changed. So we don't discriminate on size. No.
I mean, when you talk about like spare tire, you know, that this is just incredible that this is even possible for someone to come into us like this and walk away with a nice shaped butt and a waistline. To me, I mean, saving lives. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's definitely, listen, mental health goes completely untreated and, you know, well, very neglected in our society. And I think that I get to help out significantly on the whole mental health side. So this is pretty amazing. Her confidence went through the roof.
Certain way.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome, Nurse Gladys.
Listen, Nurse Gladys, call up jump on our Facebook page, the support group, contact some of these girls. Listen, we work on everybody. We like to work on nurses because nurses understand that this is a process, and they understand that the post-op care, right? The post-op care is, so important, and they just do really, really well. So we love it. Come see us.
Oh. Who is this?
So Lucy Artistry says, you removed a lot from her. Did you put her under anesthesia? No, we do not put anybody under anesthesia. So just to recap again, this technique, you're taking numbing medication and you're putting it into the area that you're going to treat. Okay, so we're going to take out fat from the stomach. We're going to put numbing medication into the stomach. All right, this particular technique was invented by a dermatologist. It wasn't invented by a plastic surgeon. It wasn't invented by a cosmetic surgeon. It wasn't invented by a general surgeon. It was invented by a dermatologist. He understood that, hey, you know what? We've used this technique to remove big skin lesions. Okay, why can't we do that to remove fat? And it's worked out pretty good. And there's been a lot of people that have received the benefits of somebody thinking outside the box and saying, hey, is there a better way of doing this? Is there a safer way of doing liposuction? So everybody say thank you to Dr. Klein.
Yeah.
He's in California. He started doing this back in the late 80s. And because of him, we're able to do it nowadays.
Yeah. And it's simply just asking the right questions of yourself. You know, instead of making yourself the victim in your life, you need to start asking yourself is can you improve? And when you start focusing on how can you improve, and you're less worried about why things happened to you, you're focused on getting better. And the key to living the good life is constant and never-ending improvement. If you're constantly in improving every single day, then each time you improve, you feel a little bit better, and it builds on it. It accumulates, and that's how you build your confidence.
So Lucy, everyone gets caught up on the how many liters question. The bottom line is we can take out what is safe for your body in one setting. Okay.
We get these results.
We get these results in one setting. Okay. Yeah.
And it's safe.
Because we do an extensive screening on you, right? And we want to make sure that you have amazing results and that this is safe for you. Okay, we're not just a lipo mill that says, yeah, come on in, we'll take your money and give you a butcher job. We make you answer a bunch of medical questions. We're very involved with your medical history. We do blood work. We analyze your kidney function, your blood levels, your electrolyte levels, the clotting in your blood, and then we make a very educated, decision on whether it's appropriate for you or whether it's not. Okay, and that's the same thing when we're removing fat. We have to understand how much your body can tolerate, and if we believe that your body can tolerate it, we go forward and we get really aggressive. If we don't think your body's going to tolerate it, we let you know ahead of time, because there is no excuse for a clinician that does not understand his own limits. Mm-hmm. Or causing harm to somebody else. That is just absolutely horrible. So this is what we do, and we love it when people call us up and say, oh my gosh, you changed our life. We would never like another phone call saying, oh my gosh, so-and-so died because of what you did. Yeah. That's just not us. Okay.
I like this picture just because this represents those women who get mistaken for being pregnant. So if you ever had somebody ask you, oh my God, congratulations, how far along are you? And you're like, I'm not pregnant. How embarrassing is that? Not only is it embarrassing for the individual who was asked that, but the person who asked the question is embarrassed as well. So this young lady here, it just, I can't even understand how this is possible, even though I was the one that did it. But the fact that she sent this picture in, this was a year out, and she shared this on our group. And I think that we talk about trying to imagine the level of confidence and the change that a person has after this procedure. This is just one of those individuals that she's capable of doing anything. She could be like a model, one of those rap guys' girlfriends or something.
I understand those rap guys,
right?
Nurse Gladys 213 says amazing results. Thank you. Yeah, listen, we've got a lot of them on our Facebook support group. Jump on there and you can see lots and lots of patients. We were well into the what, almost 300 just last year. I don't know. I have to go count them all, but we had a very, you know, successful year in treating and being able to intervene on a lot of people's lives last year. It was fun.
It's fun. It's fun seeing these people that have been, you know, following us for a long time, and then they continue to share and update their photos, you know, as time goes on, because the results continue to improve over time, and the confidence continues to improve over time. As long as you're continuing to maintain and improve yourself on a daily basis, you get better. That's the key to this stuff. You'll continue to get better, and it'll compound over time. So, you know, the first year you're a little bit better, the next year you're a little bit better than that, but then you multiply that times 10 years, and all of a sudden your life is completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
And
So,
the bad part is that the same thing works on the opposite.
yeah.
So if you're doing negative things, you do that consistently for a decade, and then your life sucks.
So Delia Jackson says, honestly, I love it. Just basically walking around looking like a hard-boiled egg. I wonder if she's referring to the
Hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, that big belly that got treated. Absolutely. Yeah. So look, this is another one that. Oh, go back to the other one. Yep. There's another one. This is only 6 months out. Okay. I think it's right at 6 months. But look at the significant change. She just basically had 2 tires right around her midsection, right? And when she came back in, she came back in with another. With somebody else that was getting something done, and I kept looking at her because I recognized the face. I'm horrible with names, but I really recognized the face, and I kept looking at her thinking, oh my gosh, why does she look familiar? But I didn't really like make the connection because she's in this big baggy like sweatshirt, and then it finally hit me, and we connected again, and I go, why are you wearing that? Let's see your results. And so that's when we took her back into these photos. And look at that. Look at just the
This one I totally I was blown away when we saw the results, because when she was still covering up. She was still in that mindset that she was the big girl.
Yep.
And so she was still living that lie, really. And the truth is she looks amazing now, and so it's a matter, you gotta start changing. You know, once the reality, the physical changes, you have to start changing the mental.
So, and we have to clarify, she only got the front of her abdomen done, only the front. So when she comes back and she gets the love handles, hips, and lower back and completes that waistline, she's gonna have a waistline probably the maybe even the first time in her life, or at least, you know, since she was like in her teens. Yeah, for a lot of people, that's kind of how it goes.
Natalie says, does anybody get lipo without skin tightening? So yeah, I mean, our patients, we include it on specific parts of the body. For example, the front of the abdomen, we do it on everybody. This is just included in the package. We don't even give you the choice, because you know everybody needs it. So we include it in the package on the front of the abdomen, on the arms, on the chin, as well as the inner thighs. Now, let's say that you have loose skin all throughout your body and you want treated in other areas, and that we charge an additional fee for that. Not everybody needs that. Most people don't. So we're just going to include it in the areas where most people need it. So we eliminate the choice of making a bad mistake.
Okay, listen, again on Facebook, can you listen? We appreciate you guys showing up and listening to what we have to say. Can we please, like, let's drop the Tati thing.
Yeah,
like,
you guys can talk on her page about the bad stuff.
Yeah, talk about that negativity on her place. Like, all we want to do is show you like amazing transformations, okay? You know, and Tati, I was there. I saw Tati's body, okay, right? It looked amazing, okay?
She looks good. You know, the funny thing is, she actually told me that like when we spoke a couple weeks ago, she told me she's really happy with her body and she loves it. But the haters, it's you girls that are hating on her, that makes her insecure. And isn't that the truth in everything in life? Is you can think positively about yourself, but if someone else says something negative, you believe them, which is total bullshit. And so her problem is she keeps believing you guys. And so if you guys would stop talking negative about her, she would stop wanting to change her body. And that's the truth. And I try to explain things to her, and you know, but she's having whatever issue she's having, and you know, I'm not gonna pretend like it's, you know, it's not real. It's real to her, and you know, but it's whatever.
It's all perspective.
Yeah.
It's all perspective.
So let's talk positive.
So Lucy Artistry asks, do you work on people with diabetes? Absolutely, we do.
Most of these larger patients have diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
You know, these larger patients that, you know, are carrying all this excess weight typically have, a lot of medical comorbidities, or at the start of medical comorbidities, right? So if you don't take care of your body, it's kind of like a car. You don't maintenance your car, you don't take care of your car, it's not going to last you, right? And if you have that diet that's horrible and just wears out those islet cells on your pancreas where you can't produce insulin, you're going to develop diabetes. And so, yeah, we absolutely do. Now, the caveat to that is we want to make sure that your diabetes is controlled. We've had a couple of patients that came in and they weren't taking their medications, and that can affect the healing process and your results. And so we want you to control that. And the one patient I'm thinking of in particular, we said no, she can't come in on this date. A couple months later, she does everything that she's supposed to do, abides by a diet, starts taking her medication. Her numbers came down. Great, we're going to work on her, and we're going to absolutely change her life. So.
And if anything, I think it's awesome that liposuction can be used as an incentive for you to take care of yourself. And if we can inspire you to take care of yourself in order to get this procedure, then it's one step better for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even take that a little bit further, just to illustrate what type of care we really give. Okay, so listen, we want to make sure that your body is healthy. We want to make sure that this is the right thing for you, and we listen. I look at all of the charts, and we consider everybody with the appropriate medical eyes. Okay, so one guy came in and got the procedure. We sent labs out, and he didn't disclose this. I asked him if everything was okay with him, if he had any medical conditions. He didn't disclose that he had HIV. Okay, no big deal. Right? The lab work came back and it said yes. And so at that point he called and said, hey, I just want to let you know. Okay, well listen, here's the reason you need to be completely forthright with your entire medical history. Because knowing that he had HIV, okay, that can decrease your immune system, right? And that can cause problems in the future with your healing, okay? And so I suggested that he go get with his oncologist, his hematologist, and discuss and let that guy know what he's planning on doing and making sure that, this is a safe procedure for him. And he did, and he thanked me. He goes, you know what? I've been to other surgeons, my last procedure, they didn't even ask about that. And you know what? That's because we care that this is a good, healthy procedure for you.
So Lucy says that your friend had diabetes, no one will touch her. And the reason usually nobody will touch a diabetic, because that's not normal. But the reasons why they would is if their hemoglobin, if it's not controlled. So if their hemoglobin A1C is elevated, which means that they don't take care of themselves. Nobody wants to touch a person who doesn't take care of themselves, because people that don't take care of themselves make us look bad.
Yep, they end up in the hospital, and then somebody always wants to point the blame. Oh my gosh, it was your fault.
Right.
Wait a minute. I gave you all of the appropriate treatment, right? I mean, I say this a lot when I worked in emergency medicine. Nobody gives us a pat on the back for writing you the medication. Nobody says, hey, good job, way to go. No, it's your job to go home and take that medication and treat whatever we're treating.
So Princess Bertha says, do you record all procedures? We have security cameras, but we don't record it like we have live procedures. That's not normal.
So thanks, Donnie Lopez, for clarifying that. Yeah, it sucks when you turn into a public figure, man. You're gonna have a lot of people hating on you. But I'll tell you right now, if you're not a public figure and you come in and you get this procedure done and you change significantly, one of the most intoxicating things about this whole process is people will come up to you and say, oh my gosh, you look so good. What have you been doing? What have you changed? Mm-hmm. Wow, you look phenomenal. Right. And that positivity from another human being, I think, is infectious. Yeah. So, I try and do that with the people that I interact with. I say, hey man, good job, or because as humans, that's what we crave, mm-hmm. right? That's what we want in life.
Donnie Lopez, I'm supposed to be calling her after this for that consultation. She was the one that called me earlier.
All right, what's up, Donnie? Can't wait to see you.
Yeah. Candy Lover 89, also amazing.
Yeah,
that's good. Haven't heard from her in a long time. I know she's doing well. She's like a rock star.
She's got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Now we're gonna wrap this up here. If you're ready to at least get some pricing, you're interested a little bit, you're not sure what about this, but The next step first is to get the quick quote. It's pretty simple. You go to our website, click on the link, put some basic information, and you can get a quote immediately. And then, when you're serious, then the next step is a more formal consultation where you send in pictures and we, Kayla and I meet with you together and make a difference and develop a plan for you and get you moving. That's the key, is get things moving for you so you can change your life quicker.
So Salvador, real quick, this is super funny. Is it true you guys charge Tati $30,000 total? I mean, with that, she could have had surgery like a mommy makeover. Hey, that could be probably. Listen, I'm not calling you dumb, but that could be one of the dumbest things I've heard all day. Because bottom line is, what is a mommy makeover, right?
Liposuction.
A liposuction, right?
Same thing.
I mean, bottom line is she got a lot of treatments done. Okay, I think she had 3, and she's coming back for her 4th. Listen, bottom line is, depending on the quality of work that you want and depending on the amount of fat that we have to suck out, yeah, listen, this is not a free procedure, okay? But I guarantee it wasn't close to $30,000.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, all of Tati's followers, for coming and following us. I appreciate it. But if you guys want to talk negative stuff and do drama, please take yourself back to her channel and use that drama on her. It's not appreciated here, and if it continues, we'll just delete you and block you from our channel. So please don't do that stuff here. I know you guys are interested, but we don't need the drama. We don't need to talk about these things. But thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you guys again next time.